So, to begin today, I would like to open with a statement. Now, in terms of the article, the Holocaust and tourism mentioned is, in my opinion, very disrespectful, but is almost a product of our society at this point. In this speech, I will use certain articles such as the Pokemon Go incident at Auschwitz Museum in Germany, the dangerous issues of selfies being taken in unsafe locations, as well as losing our history to these enjoyments of things that shouldn't really be appreciated in that light. Now, one of the big controversies of the popular app, Pokemon Go, was that its Pokestops, where people could go to collect Pokeballs and catch Pokemon, were in locations that were less than satisfactory to the respect such places deserve, such as a dead baby memorial in the US or the Auschwitz Museum in Germany, which is very disrespectful because the people were going there in order to just merely play a game rather than actually appreciate the history and the factors behind it in order to properly acknowledge the sacrifices made in certain wars and time zones. Now, this can also be correlated with the dangerousness of selfies being taken in such locations, as in the article where it mentions things such as front of crematoria ruins and steel relics for their artwork. I mean, you can just look at the Roman Colosseum, in which people often take pieces of the crumbling building down. Now, this is banned for a good reason, because in order to take pieces of history, you're taking it away from the sites, away from the people that really need to see that in order for us to grow as a civilization. How is that any different from the fact that us, as glorifying history through the use of statues, is in a way kind of keeping those wounds open? For good reason, yes, but in a way that should not be mocked nor desecrated in the manner of someone using it for a mere attraction or something that's a fun thing to look at during a trip. I mean, if you were one of these people or individual specified in the manner, or you would sacrifice your own life for something of the sort, would you want it to be remembered in that light? And that, I feel, is the very, very important danger of things such as the Holocaust tourism, to loop it back to that more centralized point. In terms of, if we try to turn that history into something fun, into something that's a roadside attraction, we lose the importance of it. We lose the symbolic tragedy that very so often happens in these places. And honestly, it's not okay. Is it really okay for us to have a Pokestop somewhere where we're supposed to be mourning, to put fun in the word funeral? It's honestly horrifying. But as a society, isn't that what we're doing? By putting up statues of these people, by making these different things that glorify these human beings. What is a statue for in any case? It's to glorify or to memorialize a part of history. By putting up statues, and by us flocking to them for various reasons, all it's doing is kind of trampling history. And that is going to be doomed to repeat itself. When everything is a fun attraction or a fun fair, it loses the very serious meaning. If a classroom is all about games and having fun, you don't learn anything. Sure, you may acquire little bits and pieces there, but they lose the true meaning behind what you're supposed to be acknowledging within history. Now, again, to connect it once more back to the point, in the case of these big-scale monuments, through the use of us turning them into these fun places where you visit with your family, we're ignoring the very real problems that many families face at these locations. What may be a fun and exciting place for you to visit at a Confederate war statue or at a Nazi Germany memorialization, in turn is somewhere where a Jewish family member was killed, or a place where a slave was captured and taken for their lives. By making this light of a situation, we're forgetting the very real darkness that treads in all of our history. And I feel that we should in turn end just ceaseless statues and ceaseless pointing and finger games and taking pictures in front of things, and instead take the time to learn about them, to read the plaques, not look at the faces of the statues, to not only look at the museums, but to learn from them. And that is the very important place that I feel is the issue here today.